Well, got a low resolution camera. I was trying to make this other one work, but it's not working tonight. But what I will do is respond real quick to Mayo Monkey. Mayo Monkey left a comment, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm definitely gonna have to make this an educational channel because Mayo Monkey I don't know how this is sounding. Okay, well, Mayo Monkey made a video, or no, left a comment. Let me pull up this video real quick. So as y'all know, I made a video earlier about Bill O'Reilly. And Bill O'Reilly said that we should sanction Putin because Putin did not show up to the peace talks, which I was trying to explain that Putin is sending a team that Zelensky just pulled out of his butt that, oh, he wants Putin to show up. That's not how things work. So I got a reply from, let's see if I can do a share screen. I got a reply from Mayo Monkey, and let me share this. Hold on. Let's see, share screen. I'm going to do a share screen, and I'll show you exactly what he said. He said, let's see, is it this one? I believe it's this one right here. Only got one YouTube channel up. No. Here it is. Yep. Let's share this. Monkey says, but Russia didn't show up for the talks yesterday, Thursday. They were in Turkey, but they did not show up for the talks. The Ukrainian team showed up. I wonder where he got. Now, remember this. He said the Ukrainian team showed up. At the time of Bill's show, Russia had not reported for the talks. Russia didn't show up until Friday, which is today, Friday. So Bill was correct. No troll, no offense taken, sir. Have a good one. So the good thing about YouTube is that you can pull up history. This is what I love about YouTube. You can just pull up the history. Now, we just read his comment. And so now what I'm going to do is go to, let me pull this about 100. Sorry for the resolution, y'all. I don't know what my camera's doing. Don't know what my camera's doing tonight. No, we don't want to do that. Okay, so what we want to do is pull up the history and pull up a video that I sent right below his, here we go. Let me pause this and let me share screen. Hold on. Okay, so let me share screen another video. No, that's not it. Share. Yep. Let's see. Share. No. Okay. We want to stop sharing that screen. And then we want to share another screen, which is this one right here. And here we go. Let me do a widescreen so everybody can see. So we can read this all together with Mayo Monkey. And we can get an understanding. Like I said, this is an educational channel. Okay. So let me. Hold on. Because I don't want Mr. Monkey screaming foul. Let me see if I can move my camera out of the way. How can I move my camera out of the way? Edit. Oh, gosh, I cannot move my camera out of the way. All right, Mr. Monkey, you're just going to have to trust me on this one. Because I cannot For some reason, I cannot move my camera out of the way. Hold on, maybe if I move this chat out of the way. No, I can't move that out of the way either. Okay, you just got to trust me, but I'll stop it and I'll just read it for Mayo Monkey. Okay, so it says Russia's delegation has landed in Istanbul. Istanbul. You follow me, Mayo Monkey? Istanbul. They landed in Istanbul. Okay, so let's keep moving. President Putin's absence looms large over the negotiations. Okay, because Zelensky kept putting it out there. I want Putin to be there. That was his personal demand, but that's not how things work in the real world. In countries like United States, China, Russia, they send a delegation team. Let's keep it moving. President Erdogan continues to position himself as the mediator. Okay, because it's in Turkey. Okay, let's keep it moving. Oh, wait, what does it say here? Russia's delegation has landed in Istanbul ahead of the talks aimed at securing a ceasefire in the war with Ukraine, media reports. Okay, so they landed there. They're in Istanbul. They're supposed to meet in Istanbul. They didn't say anything about Zelensky's delegation team landing in Istanbul, but let's keep it moving. Ukraine's President Zelensky will first meet Turkish President Erdogan before deciding on his participation in the talks. So you said, based on what you said that his team was already there. This is what you said. You said, let's do a share screen. Let's do a share screen. Hold on. You said, this is what you said. You said, this is what you said. Said, based on your comment here, let me blow it up. This is your exact quote here. You said, sir, they were in Turkey, but Russia didn't show up for the talk yesterday, which is Thursday, which I'm going to just debunk that. They were in Turkey, but did not show up for the talks. The Ukrainian did show up. Did they show up in Istanbul? They didn't show up in Istanbul, but let's get back to the video. So let's get back to the video. Let's get back to the video because, yeah, I don't know where you got your information, Monkey, but it seems like you got some disinformation. Maybe you got the disinformation from Bill O'Reilly. That's what I'm saying. Bill O'Reilly is good at spinning things. He says no spin zone, but apparently, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. This is important. It says the exact time and format of the negotiation remain unknown, according to the Russian media reporting from Turk Airport. That's because they said one time, 10 a.m., then they said another time, basically because Zelensky, who's you said team was already there. They weren't even assembled. So how can they be there when they're not assembled? But we'll keep it moving. But let's keep it moving. The spokesman Pikov says talks could extend beyond Thursday. Thursday, depending on how much progress is made during the discussions. Extend beyond Thursday. That's what it says, beyond Thursday. Trust me when I say this. This video is in the link, but let's go back to what you said. Let's go back to what you said, Mr. Monkey. You said, this is what you said. What up, Josh? Hey, Josh, I'm just schooling a person in the chat earlier that wanted to go back and forth and swarp and down. I guess I'm just correcting some stuff. So I'm just basically, I'm just sharing this information, Josh. So this guy here says, his comments, what he says. He says, at the time of Bill's show, so Bill did a show yesterday on Thursday night. This was in the AM, and this is Thursday. So they were in Turkey but did not show up for talks. Okay. I don't know where you got your information, but I would like to know where you got your information, Mayo Monkey. But apparently, again, I think you got the wrong information. But let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. So let's go back to, let's share this other, let's keep sharing the video. Because this video was done on Thursday, obviously. It says the talks in Istanbul. The talks in where? In Istanbul. Where? In Istanbul. Where was Zelensky's so-called team? Because Putin's negotiation team was in Istanbul. The talks in Istanbul marked the first formal meeting between Russia and Ukraine since early stages of the invasion in 2022. So basically what happened in 2022, Mr. Monkey, is that the first meeting of the peace talks was in Istanbul. That didn't go too well because of Boris Johnson and Mr. Biden. So Putin resumed talks in Istanbul with the same exact team. Let's keep it going. What does it say here? President Putin's absence looms large over the negotiations with Zelensky, previous calling for his presence to attend. So Zelensky was requesting that Putin be there, but this is not a formal meeting. This is not what nations do. So basically with Zelensky, this was his plan to thwart the meeting, to disrupt the meeting. So basically he had no plans to have a negotiation team because he did not want to have a meeting to begin with. So he knew the formal way of how countries conduct negotiations and have negotiation teams. Trump doesn't have time to sit there and negotiate. Putin doesn't have that time. No world leader, Xi Jinping, Ibrahim Traore, King Salmani, name a leader and name a country, and that leader have negotiation teams. The negotiation teams go back and forth, like I said before in the video, but let's keep it moving because I've already explained this in another video. Let's keep it moving. So it says here, Zelensky has suggested that without Putin there, Ukraine may not participate directly in the Istanbul discussions. Oh, wait a minute. You said, wait a minute, hold on. Because you said, Mr. Monkey, this is what you said. Based on your comment, like I said, I don't know what you get your information, but I'm just going what you said. You said the Ukrainian team did show up. You said they did show up on Thursday. But based on Zelensky suggested that without Putin, there will be no discussion. Let's keep it moving. So Zelensky, hold on. Zelensky is tearing your comment up, Mayo Monkey. Zelensky's tearing you apart. And I'm no fan of Zelensky, but Zelensky is calling you a liar. Zelensky's calling you a liar right now. Not me. I'm just saying, based on what Zelensky's saying, he's calling you a liar. So let's keep it moving. Wait, what is this? Russia's delegation, which is the negotiation team, is led by presidential aide Vladimir Medinsky and Deputy Defense Minister Alexander Fomin. On the left, we have Vladimir Medinsky and Deputy Defense Minister Alexander Fomin. Where's your team at? So you said, this is what you said. Let's go back to what you said. So you said, let's read your comment again. Let's read your comment. You said they were in Turkey, but did not show up for talks. I just named the two people. The Ukrainian team did show up. Can you give me their names? So I just gave you two names. So I just gave you the name of two people who showed up. So this is what Mayo Monkey said. He said the two people, they showed up, but he didn't tell me their names. So I said, well, they did show up, and guess what? Not only did they show up, but I have their names here. These are the gentlemen who showed up. Mr. Presidential Aide Vladimir Medinsky and Deputy Defense Minister Alexander Fomin. So these are the gentlemen who showed up for negotiations. In Istanbul, by the way. Istanbul. Remember the city, Istanbul, because that's very important. Let's keep it moving. A senior Ukrainian official told AFP that the final decision on participation depends on Zelensky's meeting in Ankara. Wait a minute, Ankara, Turkey. So that means Zelensky team never showed up because he never made the decision where he wanted to meet these two, Vladimir Medinsky and Alexander Fomin. The two guys I just showed you, because no, I want to see Putin. So he never assembled a team. He never assembled a negotiating team, which most countries do. All countries do. But Ukraine is so corrupt. I guess Zelensky didn't know that you're supposed to send a negotiating team, a delegation team, but let's keep it moving. Ukraine is cautious about entering peace talks that may be seen as symbolic or lacking commitment from Russia's leadership. Okay. The peace talks are taking place amid escalating global pressure to end the war and avoid further humanitarian disaster. Okay, let's keep moving. Turkish President Erdogan continues to position himself as a mediator for the war, hosting key players in the Istanbul today. Istanbul. Remember that, Monkey. Istanbul. We got to get places and names and times. We got to get that correct when we're leaving comments on the Arena Uncensored, because this is an educational channel and I do bring the receipts. I've been doing this Ukraine thing since 2014. So, yeah, but let's keep it moving.
Subscribe to One India and never miss an update.
Okay. So there you have it. I guess Josh left, man. Shout out to Josh. Josh, you didn't even leave a like, Josh. You know you're supposed to you a moderator. You know you're supposed to leave a like and share. So, Mayo Monkey, I hope that answers your question, your comment that you left. Of course, I had to reply because, when people are being misled by Mr. Bill O'Reilly, who's out here spinning things, I have to give you the correct information because I waited just like they did. The minute they said they were going to meet in Istanbul, I was tuned in, and they said the meeting will start at 10. I was there the whole time on Thursday, by the way, and Zelensky never showed up. He showed in Alwat, I'm butchering the name, Alwat, Turkey, without a negotiating team because he never intended on meeting. So when Bill O'Reilly says, oh, well, Putin never showed up, he's feeding into Zelensky's nonsense. So what I'm saying is not only I'm accusing Bill O'Reilly of spinning things, but he is pushing the narrative of Zelensky's BS. Because Bill O'Reilly knows better. Bill O'Reilly knows, because he talks to Trump, he knows that leaders have negotiating teams, delegation teams. He knows this. And so for him to feed into Zelensky's madness, I want to see Putin himself, he knows that's not the proper protocol. First of all, if Zelensky, well, I guess not Zelensky because he's not a real leader, but anytime Putin, Xi Jinping, or President Trump travel somewhere, there's security protocols. You can't just show up. However, you can send a delegation team, which takes less security and less protocol. Not saying that the delegation team doesn't have security as a protocol, but I'm saying there's less as opposed to Putin just arriving, just like President Trump just can't arrive. He said, I may, or I might. So Putin is not about to show up because things have not been finalized. Things have just started. Negotiations have just started, and then the negotiation teams have to go back and forth. It could take days, it could take weeks, it could take months. But until it's finalized, that is when Putin, that is when Donald Trump will show up. When things are finalized, okay, I'll sign off on this, i.e. Putin or i.e. Trump. I will give Donald Trump credit because Whitmer did show up. Whitmer showed up, unlike Zelensky, who didn't have a team. Zelensky's team never showed up. So let me share your comment again. Let me ask you a question. I got to ask this. Did you just make all this up? When you said, but Russia didn't show up for talks yesterday, they were in Turkey, but did show up for talks. The Ukrainian team did show up. So if the Ukrainian team showed up, can you give me a name? And when they showed up, where did they show up? Apparently it wasn't in Istanbul, which Vladimir Alexander Fomin and Vladimir Medinsky showed up. They showed up at 10 a.m. in the morning and waited, and they were told that Zelensky be there at 12. 12 got here. They said, oh, Zelensky be here at 2. 2 got here. Oh, Zelensky be here at 4. 4 got here. Oh, Zelensky be here at 6. And then when 6 o'clock, they waited a whole day. They said, oh, they'll be there the next day, being Friday. The day that you said that, oh, they're there, but they weren't there on Thursday. Yes, they were there on Thursday. I have the receipts, but you're welcome to bring the receipts that counter my receipts. That's how this works. And I always, like to pay people for their hard work. If you can bring the receipts that counter my receipts, you'll get a cash out. But I need names, times, and dates. I'm going to need the same thing that I gave you, the same courtesy I gave you. I gave you names and I gave you a location. Name and location. I gave you a date. The date is Thursday. This is Thursday. If you look at the timestamp, this is a day ago. And the video timestamp is timestamped. Every video is timestamped. So yeah, this was a day ago. So if you're going to leave comment on this channel, I would appreciate if I show you receipts. I would appreciate the same receipts. And that not only goes for you, Mayo Monkey, that goes for anybody who comes to this channel, because this is an educational channel and I expect receipts. If I do just the little work that I did, then I expect the same type of energy and same type of respect, meaning if I go through the trouble of doing this, and you don't even have to do a presentation like I did, but I need names. I need location, name, location, and I need a date. So this happened on Thursday. So I need your team with the names of the people that you said. I just can't I don't know you. You don't know me, and this is why I did this for you, because me just saying anything. See, I'm not Bill O'Reilly. See, you take Bill O'Reilly's word for whatever he's saying. I'm not, because I waited in real time along with Vladimir Medinsky and Alexander Fomin. I waited in real time just like they did, because I was looking forward to these peace talks. Like I said, I've been doing this since 2014, since the original Maidan Revolution, ever since the Obama administration, Victoria Nuland. I've been doing this for a long time. If you go back to one of my videos, do I need to post one of my old videos where I didn't have gray hair? When I did this years ago, I didn't just jump on this like the other day and decide, oh, I want to get into the Ukraine war. I've been doing this. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been on YouTube for a long time, and I've been doing this Ukrainian situation. That's why. But I've told people, Putin didn't invade Ukraine. Do you want me to go there too? I can do presentation on that too. They were petitioned by the people of Luhansk and Donetsk, and they were petitioned. Much like how we petitioned when we separated from England under King George, we petitioned King Louis XVI to come assist us in our separation. So, Mayo Monkey, may you have a good day, sir. And I hope that this will enlighten you. And I hope if you do decide to come back, that you come back with receipts. Because at this point, by me doing the show this late and my good camera's not working, and I had to goddamn just do this on a whim on my bad camera, not my good camera, but my bad camera on low resolution, I'm going to now expect the same energy. I'm going to expect the same energy. So may you learn from the situation. And, I don't know. Now I guess I don't want your pride to be hurt, because now I need you to come with some scholarship. I need you to come with some receipts. And there's a certain platform. I don't need you to come like Zelensky. I need you to come like how Vladimir Putin came, with the proper format. And so I formatted this whole thing real quick, just out of, like I said, my camera's not working, but I formatted this to show you the dates, the name, and the time. And Zelensky, and I didn't even know that Zelensky was going to call you a liar. He straight up called you a liar, because he said he wasn't going to form no team, because Putin didn't show up. He wanted Putin to break the protocol. The protocol for all nations are to send a delegation team, because presidents don't have time to go sit with other presidents and negotiate for days, weeks, and months. That's what they have negotiating teams for, delegation teams. That's what they specialize in. And when they are done, then the delegation from Russia will go back to Putin. American team will go back to President Trump. They will present, and once they come to a compromise or workaround or whatever it is, then Trump comes to the table. Then they make preparations. They have security. They have the press. Then they make preparations to sign off and say, yeah, this is the agreement we came to. When they say that when they say we, they're talking about our delegation. So when Putin said we will go to Istanbul, he's talking about his delegation team. I hope that clears up everything. Shout out to Josh. Even though Josh, you didn't leave a like, bro. You got the wrench, you didn't leave a like, man. Shame on you, Josh. Shame on you. All right, with that being said, man, shout out to Josh. You know I'm playing with you. Shout out to Josh. I know, because it's not a joking matter. He want to tell jokes and shit. But with that being said, we out, y'all. Peace. Ended.